Well, I've been a firefighter with the City of Anderson for almost 13 years now, and just at that point in my life, I mean, I was a little bit younger than I am now, a lot more carefree, take a lot more chances than I would now, and just over the years being on the fire department, you see things, you see the best and the worst of humanity, and a lot of trauma, a lot of things that don't make sense to you. And I would go to church periodically, every once in a while with my parents or something like that. And it got me to really start questioning God, if there was a God, because you'd see these things. You'd come into work, sit down to eat breakfast, the tones would go off, and within 30 seconds you're at somebody's house doing CPR on a dead baby, maybe 2 months old. Or you'd pull up on a car wreck and the people, innocent people, let's put it that way, are hurt. You just begin to wonder, where is God in all those things, and how or why does God allow good things to happen or bad things to happen to good people? So I kind of become callous to that, cocky, kind of carefree attitude that hey, it's just a job. And I remember at one time thinking, miracles don't happen, they're made. And was married for about 12, 13 years, about that time, and things started going kind of bad there a little bit, and to the point where eventually it led into divorce. And I moved out, got my own place, was still in the fire department, dealing with all the same problems, and just all the pain and stuff through the divorce. I found myself lost and in a really dark place, doing things that I normally wouldn't do. I was drinking, running around late at night with friends, and going into work late, just kind of being irresponsible. And I remember one night, it was late, I'd come home and I found myself sitting at the foot of the bed. I had a gun in my hand, and it was just at that point I decided, this is it. God, if you're there, speak. And it wasn't loaded, but could have been really quickly. And it came across, I just felt this warmth, and I didn't really hear a voice, but in my head, I realized that this is the most selfish thing in the world I could do. At the time, I had 2 beautiful children. They needed me, and it was kind of like, just hang on, give me a minute. And I knew it was God. And I sat there and I cried for a long time, and then it wasn't but a day or two later, I got a phone call from my cousin, Toby, and he invited me to come to church and said, hey, we're meeting out there at the bridge and at Highland High School. And I was like, oh yeah, the cult. So I come, and I got to meet Chris and a lot of good people here. They kind of took me under their wings, and we'd do stuff, work out. And I remember the first time I come here and seen Chris and I heard the band play, I was blown away. I was like, man, is this really church? And it's funny because from that moment on, things started happening so fast. Like I said, I met my wife, and she's just amazing. The church, I never in my wildest dreams would have thought that I would have been up on stage playing a main character in kids stuff. Come on, but it's just with all those things, I found myself, all the things I once thought was important, like being a firefighter and being a role model, the things that I thought I found my identity through. The moment I give my life to Christ, he kind of stripped me of all that, and which was kind of a cool thing, but at the same time I found myself lost, not knowing where to turn. All the things I used to do all of a sudden weren't so much fun anymore. I started learning this new sense of responsibility, being a parent, being a husband. I always thought that being a Christian meant once you give your life to God that He would protect you and bad things wouldn't happen anymore. Easy street. And what I quickly realized through the bridge and talking to people and just living the Christian life that's not at all what happens. You're actually moved to the front lines and you really start taking it harder. So I've struggled with that a little bit, but if anything, it's just taught me that it's not so much about what you wear. It's about your personal relationship with God. And that's why I like coming to the Bridge. It's just they're real people with real problems. And for the first time in my life, I feel like I could come to people here at the Bridge with my problems, and they're experiencing them too. There's no fakeness to people. I mean, they're true and they're real, and I like that. And it's helped me to become a better man. Doing stuff at home now that doing devotions with the kids at night, doing devotions with my wife. We pray every night, and it's just amazing to see how God's starting to work in my life. It's made me a better fireman. It's made me a little softer to people. I find myself being a mentor to people I never in my life would have dreamed had some of the problems I have. They come to me and they want to know what it is. I feel like they want to know what it is I've got that they don't. And for a while there, not that I was ashamed, I just really didn't know how to answer them. But it's become really easy just to say, I've got God in my life, and it's Him.